Boom, 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 boom. Welcome back for not the last, but the second to last match of the evening. It is at least evening where I'm at. It's actually midnight. And it is also midnight for Albert, so I'm sure he is happy to get this match going. It's going to be Albert versus Morningstar. Of course, one of those lopsided matchups if you only look at the two-tally rating. Albert coming in with a very solid number 2 on the leaderboards right now. Previous holder of number 1 for a long time. Super strong player. And definitely one of the favorites to take the whole tournament. And in the other corner, Morningstar with 139. I think the two-tally rank for this player, and I think a lot of players in the lower seeds in the tournament, is not really too much to judge of. Of course, two-tally rating is a lot of different rating systems also function of like, you just need a lot of games to really get like where you're supposed to be in the rankings. So for a lot of people like Morningstar, I do think the rank probably hides their true power level for sure. And I will expect them to put up a good performance here versus Albert. Anything else? And I will be disappointed, of course. I am scrambling to find chat. It disappeared after the raid. Here we go. Lovely. Albert has fallen. Morningstar is now ranked 138. Well, my point still stands. Largely. Anyways, we have already seen the first map being picked. It's Almeria. Straight on to FL. We will see whether or not Albert has practiced. I don't think you can see it in this chat, but I'm pretty sure he just straight up admitted to not practicing the FL earlier in the chat. But we will ignore that. Albert has played it on trombone, actual trombone. Surely we will actually do some scientific testing here. Does actual trombone skills carry over to Trombone Champ? If Albert gets anything less than 100%, it's proof that it doesn't. I'm calling it right now. Yeah, this will be the last TTCC. We will see any of these players, of course. Next year it will be all Japanese. Japan only chicken gods. There we go, Morningstar here from Ada. Welcome, welcome. Both players hitting the first note. Amazingly. The very early accolade coming in from Morningstar. Will they get tripped up by the note holes? It's very easy to overhold these notes and miss the gap. So Albert does lose combo there, so does Morningstar. I'm not sure if they lost champ meter. I think Morningstar might have lost champ, aka missed the gap, as they are later on the actual champ build-up here. Which is gonna net them a bit of a disadvantage in the points department. But it is all even now. Besides losing combo, they both have champ. And there goes the champ from Morningstar. Albert definitely just closing his eyes and feeling, what would I do if I had an actual trombone in my hand right now? It seems to be serving him well. will be holding on the FL. 80% is very respectable for not having practice, I will say, and he will be taking the first chart of this match. Morningstar did pick this chart, maybe expecting to get a chance versus Albert on this FL. Might have been a mistake, maybe just unlucky, who knows? Of course, it depends on how much Morningstar actually practice M0RN themselves. I don't think anyone can be picking FL and be expecting a freebie without having put in the work, of course. Like, it does require some practice regardless of what you do. Second pick here from Morningstar is going to be the Dark Farm. I feel like we've seen Dark Farm pop up quite a bit on these early picks. It's a good warm-up chart for sure. That's like that. Enough for those taps that you kind of get into the rhythms. But it's not that fast in the grand scheme of things. C. It's not perfect pitch, you can just tell from it being on the middle of the screen. That is at C. Fun fact. Oh, Albert going for a very early combo loss. Twice, in fact. Maybe forgot to put away the actual trombone from the last chart. It's being traded with Morningstar here. It does mean both players are very even. Albert building up 1.5%, I think, just through ACK alone. I think they both had the same amount of combo drops up until that point. We see the champ being recovered here from Morningstar. Both players are on champ meter at least. Another drop there from Morningstar though on the tap specifically, and those are like the things you have to look out for, right? As the weeks go on, you're gonna get more and more fast patterns like that, and being able to handle those short bursts especially proves to be very important in the TTCC. Albert showing his experience playing fast charts. For those of you who don't know, Albert's preferred playstyle is 2x speed HD EC. It's definitely, like, if he's allowed to, he will always play it double speed HD EC. So these taps proving to be quite manageable for him. And kind of through those taps alone, he does take the second map as well, just building up an advantage, being much more consistent on those. There are a couple other charts that have similar qualities. I will say Pixel Princess and Clumsy Communication are both kind of the same type. Give me a second, I'm just gonna refer to the rules real quick. We have a question here. Find the rules. It just has to be re-enabled. Yeah. As long as it is not kept off deliberately, it's fine. Alright. The question was what to do if score submissions were off. Of course, Always good to check with the rules. And in this case, as long as there isn't any obvious malicious intent, it is indeed fine. Score submissions is always just like submitting the scores to 2Tally servers, which is a very good way for us to reference whether or not they are done legitimately. Otherwise, I could just edit the chart somehow and make it easier for myself. And technically I could be playing it, but obviously there are other ways to spot it as well. Let's go Whispers, says Albert. I just alluded to him being an HD easy player, of course. Mainly easy, right? Like, we love some easy. But yeah, I think Albert will do very well. This is kind of home turf. I don't know if it's more home turf than HD for Albert. Probably not. I think turning off HD is probably feels sprung for Albert, but... Alright, heading into Whispers. Will we see 100%? So we are second to last chance to see a Whispers too easy moment. Otherwise we will just have to believe Emmett would have 100% in it if given the chance. You see a combo drop here from Morningstar, so put them quite a bit behind in the percent department, but of course there are specific quirks to easy and how the scoring works that it can't really be compared to no mod in that sense. Ooh, there's the champ break from Albert. Gets the taps but doesn't get back on track in time for the resident nose and misses the gap. And the 100% is still not attained. I think Salient was the closest so far. Even Salient dropping a little bit on these jumps right here. Besides that one miss though, it does seem like Albert is very solid on this. Morningstar, in the meantime, doing very well. Climbing up 90% here. Means there can't have been that many misses in total. But of course, when your opposition is giving you this little leeway, it's very hard to really catch up. Especially if the match chart is on the easier side. And we will see Albert taking chart number 4. I believe this means it is back to being Morningstar's pick. So Albert repeats the last one. It's gonna be Pixel Princess, a lovely song. Surprised to not see any HD here. We did not see any HD in the last match either with Illuminati solid, which also surprised me a little bit. Of course, Illuminati is not a huge HD player, but Albert obviously like lives and breathes HD, so if you go a whole best of 5 or best of 9, sorry, without seeing a single HD shard, I think that's a first for Albert for sure. But it could happen here. Assuming Albert takes this one, he wouldn't be left with the pick again. So it would be up to Morningstar at that point, if we were to see any HD. This here, though, is a no-mod Pixel Princess. As these players sync up. Oh yeah. All combo drops here from Morningstar in the intro, but nothing you can't get a come back from for sure. This chart is like pretty consistently hard, so a lot of spots to drop combo, and we do see Albert drop there as well. Another combo up there from Albert. Seeming a bit shaky. Maybe there's some computer stuff going on. Not sure. Might just be not having the correct warm-up or practice. Who knows? You can sometimes infer a bit how the tromboners are feeling looking through their cursors and their tapping. Different people have different ways of getting out like nerves in their system, and often they make it very visible in what they do in game. Morningstar on a very clutch 69% right now. Could be going for the 69 gambit, of course. Albert more so going for the high ack. It's also a way to win. Ooh. Morningstar was in very good pace there for 69% attempt, actually. With that combo and champ break at the end. Not quite able to get the points. With that, chart number 4 will go to Albert, and it is now match point. We'll have to see a reverse sweep here from Morningstar. If there is a secret weapon hidden inside, it has to come out now. Might call on the tactical DDoS on Albert's house. Get that PC blown up again. Morningstar will pick clumsy communication. So unless they take it, we might go a whole match without seeing Albert play HD. Which will be a monumental occasion. I don't think that has ever happened in the history of video games. That Albert has played 5 songs in a row without HD. Intercontinental Ballistic Computer Exploder. How does that rap go? I'm happy we are getting clumsy though. It is a total banger. Me and Maddie discussed earlier, how can it be such a banger? My answer just being, it's a Chroma song. They're all bangers. Ooh, that is a funky harmony. I expect Albert to handle these rhythms well. I believe I once made a comment about like, oh, this chart has pretty tricky rhythm. I think it was talking about Marmalade Twins, which if you haven't played it, it's a pretty tricky chart. It has a lot of swing, a lot of syncopation, and Albert just went, nah, it's just swing rhythm. It is a very good song, yes. So yeah, if Albert means it's very easy, very simple, he better prove it. So far doing pretty good at that job. No FC, but I don't think the FC on this song specifically was very reasonable. Considering, yeah, this part is very hard. But yeah, this match pretty close still. Mornings are holding on. Already behind the percent, but it's a big difference being behind 84 to 69 compared to like 97 to 85. Because in one situation you can make it back by like finishing the rest of the song out cleanly, and the other one you're just praying for the opposition to make mistakes. So yeah, in this case, Morningstar's fate is kinda in their own hands. Of course, it does rely on Albert actually staying on course. If Albert is to show it up now and just FC the rest of the song, that is also gonna make it very hard. Which it kinda seems like Albert is planning to. It's been a while since Albert missed. I want to start getting a lot of these jumps. Yeah, definitely showing good signs of life here, Morningstar. Getting a lot of the harder jumps, but not quite like getting the transitions back down afterwards and that kind of stuff, and will sadly bleed too many points, leading to Albert taking a clean finish. 5-0 Albert. They are gonna get... Yeah, we'll just immediate reply from both of them. We are gonna be playing tiebreaker. Not for the marbles. The marbles are definitely settled in Albert's favor, but for fun, we will be seeing You'll Be Gone as a closer here. Albert making it a competition. Who has played these songs the least? Seems to be a common thread between the TTCC competitors. You would almost think some of these players take pride in not practicing. Yex seeming to make a big deal out of who found the album in chat. I don't see how that's relevant. Yeah, now we're really getting the rhythm being easy put to the test here from Albert. Truth be told, Albert is really good at these rhythms. Having watched a lot of Albert replays in my time, he definitely has an uncanny ability to just clear a lot of stuff that I cannot comprehend even being possible. So yeah, coming out of the intro here with a very good 93%, if we take his claims as true. It is also a sight read, so probably extra impressive. Morningstar struggling a lot in the intro, but much cleaner now here in the vocals part. We'll be building up back that accuracy. Very clean here from Albert. Does drop a combo right there, but he's keeping the champ, which I think is probably like what makes these kind of charts so hard in large part. Compared to just something with a stable rhythm being fast. Difficult rhythms that are like not stable, they vary a lot, they might be hard to read. Might be hard to just feel or understand from a glance. They do risk you missing the gap just from misreading or mistiming your jump or your input or something like that. And much more. And of course, missing the gap is much worse than just missing the note itself. Morningstar still within reach of the 69. Might be going for the gambit. Of course, the valid scores are 69 exactly. 69, 69%, 69 for 20%. Those are the insta winners, the lucky numbers. Hello, Cyber Corby. Welcome to the stream. Ooh. Oh, now that's too much. Morningstar has to build up combo again to get to 69. Oh. Doesn't seem to be possible. No jackpot for Morningstar. But Albert, with a very reasonable 93%. Good performance from him as well. Although I do question, maybe Albert also would have been better going for the 69 strategy. I do want to make it clear that the 69% strategy is not real, if anyone was wondering. You will not win if you get 69% exactly. Sadly. So please don't do that. Albert will take the match. Clean 5-0. And go on to play in the winners bracket versus... They just played... No? Well, that was Ilium. Yeah, I'm very bad at remembering stuff, so I cannot remember how the bracket looked, but we will get the bracket up. Here we go. Versus M0RN1NGST4R, of course, of course! I think that is a repeat from last year, or was that Salem versus M0RN1NGST4R? Either way, it is a matchup for the ages right there. 4th versus 5th. M0RN1NGST4R, I believe, is the hidden OP in this tournament. For those of you who don't know, he did actually do the best performance in the qualifier charts. Had to be nerfed by the corrupt organizers after taking a bribe from Electrostats. That's definitely how it went down. Electro not happy about not being number one. Just kidding, of course. And Morningstar facing off in the lower bracket. Versus someone, I didn't miss it. Hold on, who played against Emmett? It was Joy. It was Joy. I can think. I calculated it myself. Are you proud, Joy? Anyways, in 1 hour 30, we are going to be seeing Randomize versus Professor Hume. I will not be joining you for that much, but I hope you've had a lovely day viewing these matches so far, and we'll be catching Random Noise versus Professor Hume. I think this one will go down as one of the legendary tooth battles for sure. I cannot wait to see these players back at the TTCC stage. So make sure to tune in for that. And I will be seeing you later.